This is NDTV. And you're watching Ndtv-Hindu.
Chennai Sangamam's stint this year has been mired in controversy after the CBI raided an NGO organizing disc event in connection with the 2G scam. It is now the death of a 4-year-old girl at the event last night that has sparked off a controversy. Media reports say the girl died due to burn injury she sustained caused by firecrackers, but now a post-mortem report claims that she died because of a head injury. Now, local men from the ruling party are allegedly trying to stage a huge cover-up. No one is fielding questions. The family of the victims is forced to be tight-lipped, and the media is shooed away. A very good evening, I'm Divya, and today is also the last day of the Jallikattu this year, and our executive editor Sanjay Pinto has a very special discussion lined up. Sanjay?
Thank you, Divya. Is Jallikattu a part of our culture or cruelty? In the ring, as it were, with me, Chinni Krishna, Vice Chairperson of the Animal Welfare Board of India, and Dr. Joe Arun, Cultural Anthropologist. But for now, if you can give us the headlines, Divya.
Well, before we get into the discussion, let's bring you all the top stories making headlines this hour. Death of a 4-year-old girl at the Chennai Sangamam takes a new twist. Post-mortem reports claim she died of a head injury. Opposition demands an immediate rollback on petrol prices. Jayalalitha says we will be forced to use bullock carts if the situation progresses. Jallikattu claims only one unfortunate life this year following strict rules. Now, is this festival our state's culture or just plain cruelty to animals?
விலங்கினங்களை அவங்க துன்பப்படுத்துறாங்கன்னு சொல்றது முடியாது. ஏன்னா அந்த விலங்கினத்தை அவங்க வளர்க்கறது வந்து அவங்களுடைய வீட்டு குழந்தைகளை விட ஈடுபாடோடு வளர்க்கறாங்க.
Because it's just cruelty to animals.
Kanam Pongal packs the city today. Traffic diversions and security in place to manage the thronging crowd.
Except the buses, the other vehicles have been restricted. Buses have been allowed to facilitate the people visiting the Marina Beach.
R. Ashwin and Chawla both stay in the spin attacks. Srishant and Rohit Sharma failed to make the cut and no reserve wicketkeeper in the World Cup.
We have selected probably the best combination that we've thought over.
Come on India, go for it!
Let's also bring you the news making national headlines. Prime Minister and the President discuss price rise but make no indication of a cabinet expansion or reshuffle. After Adarsh, will Labasa be next? The Environment Ministry will give the Bombay High Court its decision on whether norms were violated. After Asim Anand's reported confession, the court admits the bail plea of 9 accused in the Malgaon case. Kerala High Court asks the state to explain what led to the Sabrimala stampede that claimed Hunt ended 2 lives.
Strict Supreme Court guidelines for Tamil Nadu's annual Pongal sport meant that only one life was lost this year. On the last day of the Jallikattu season, the grand finale at Alanganallur in Madurai district ended with an ugly turn. A scuffle broke out between some participants and the policemen, after which the event was called to a close. Perhaps some lives were also saved in the bargain. But several people have been injured despite those strict measures taken. In fact, just at Alanganallur today, 72 people were injured, 11 with serious injuries.
About 335 animals have been registered, and as per the Supreme Court direction and Animal Welfare Board instruction, all the instructions have been followed.
Alright, that was a collector speaking there, and we also decided to feel the pulse of a cross-section of people. Here's their take on Jallikattu.
அந்த விலங்கினங்களை அவங்க துன்பப்படுத்துறாங்கன்னு சொல்றது முடியாது. ஏன்னா அந்த விலங்கினத்தை அவங்க வளர்க்கறது வந்து அவங்களுடைய வீட்டு குழந்தைகளை விட ஈடுபாடோடு வளர்க்கறாங்க.
I don't agree with it as Tamil culture because it's just cruelty to animals.
இது தொடர்ச்சியா நடக்கூடியது. மக்களுக்கு ஒரு வீரம் இருக்கிறது இது காட்டுறதுக்கு ஒரு நல்ல இது.
I think it was a part of Tamil culture, but I guess as time moves on, people have to change. People are educated. They have to learn that harm towards animals is not good.
இது மக்களை துன்புறுத்துவதாக அமைகிறது. இது தேவையற்ற ஒரு விளையாட்டு என்பதுதான் என்னுடைய கருத்து.
மிருகங்களையும் துன்பப்படுத்திக்கிட்டு மனுஷனையும் துன்பப்படுத்திட்டு இது ரொம்ப ரொம்ப ரெண்டு பேத்துக்குமே கஷ்டம். அதனால இது தேவையில்லாத ஒரு விஷயம் நான் நினைக்கிறேன்.
ஏன்னா நம்ம மயிலியா பிடிக்கிறோம், இல்லை ஒரு ஆடியா பிடிக்கிறோம். ஒன்லி ஜல்லிக்கட்டு மாடு இதுக்காகவே 100 பேர் சேர்த்து வச்சுருக்கா. அதில் ஒரு வருடத்தில் ஒரு புது திருநாளில் தமிழ் திருநாளில் இதை மாதிரி ஒரு சாகசம் செய்கிறது என்ன வேறு விளையாட்டு தானே தவிர.
According to the guidelines of the Tamil Nadu regulation of Jallikattu Act 2009, the collector should be satisfied that the venue is suitable. The area through which the bulls pass should have double barricades. The bulls should not be intoxicated or suffer from any disease. The organizers should deposit a fee of ₹2 lakh and the whole event should be videographed. The Supreme Court order has also specified that the event must be restricted to 2 months. Now joining us live in our studio, as I said earlier, Chini Krishna, who is the Vice Chairperson of the Animal Welfare Board of India, and Reverend Dr. Joe Arun, who is a cultural anthropologist from Oxford. Dr. Joe Arun, to you first. People on Pongal Day actually worship the cow, but why are we inflicting cruelty on the bull?
Sanjay, you must look at the whole event as a sport. It is very historical, it is cultural, it is a symbol of Tamil identity. I am against violence.
Tamil identity. Thiruvalluvar actually spoke about compassion to all living beings.
Yeah, it's a compassion. At the same time, it's also part of a culture of people where Tamil culture consists of love and valor. To show valor, we are not fighting between human beings.
All right. Since you're talking about valor, Dr. Joe Arun, you sprinkle chili powder on the eyes. In fact, a newspaper has got pictures of chili powder being sprinkled on the eyes of a bull. You give the bull liquor, perhaps sometimes even performance enhancing drugs, provoke the bull to such an extent, a poor confused animal, and then 20 drunk men pounce on the bull and call that valor?
I am against this violence. I am against this violence because these are extreme measures people take. But I am for the sport where all these are removed from the scene.
Chini Krishna, easier said than done, but of course Dr. Joe Arun and in fact many people who support Jallikattu, including the government in its affidavits throughout the different tiers of judicial wisdom, right from the High Court and they went even to the Supreme Court with an SLP, have said that this sport enjoys iconic status in Tamil Nadu, is part of Tamil culture, and it's about 4,000 years old and should be preserved. At a time when we are talking about losing our cultural moorings.
I don't think it's 4,000 years old to start with. And the government are supporting it because there is a massive vote bank in certain parts of the state. It was in Madurai itself that Justice Bhanumati ruled it illegal because of extreme cruelty.
But Dr. Joe Arun says that you can regulate it to that extent and you don't have to really ban it.
Can you regulate murder and make it more gentle? No, you can't. This is cruelty pure and simple.
See, you have plenty of laws and regulations for so many things. Do people follow the rules and regulations? You have to continue to tame because this whole thing is very symbolic. There is a fight between animality and humanity.
No, but then this dates back, Father, to the Paleolithic age, where man fought with bare hands against animals to domesticate them. Here you are making the bull enrage and then trying to domesticate.
See, you are only looking at that event, that the theatre there, Jallikattu. You know what is happening? The last about 7 months, 8 months or 2 years, or about 8 months, this bulls and the people who bullfighters are trained. It's almost, every village has called Kovil Mettu Paudi. Just a kind of near the shrine or the temple.
But what we see, it's there for all to see.
But you don't
cruelty, the poor men are being dragged on the ground. People are dying. Even this time, one man died. Over the last 20 years, Father, 200 people died.
Sanjay, you are only seeing what media selections gives you.
Not what media selects.
The way that the bullfighters deal with the bulls, very different.
72 people today in Alanganallur are injured, 11 with serious injuries.
If you are going by violence, I will tell you, there are so many dowry deaths, there are so many farmers die, there are so many pets in the houses tortured and cruel things happening.
All right, I mean, he's extending that argument. He probably even talk about the dog shows where there's cruelty to animals, about docking of the tails of Doberman dogs and all that. But how do you respond to that? He says there's violence everywhere.
2 wrongs and 3 wrongs and 4 wrongs don't make a right. We have to tackle each one on its own. We have to try and right every wrong. But that doesn't mean that we have to allow Jallikattu to continue because it takes 8 months of training. There are so many things that take 8 months of training, which may, if they want an adrenaline rush, let them go and do bungee jumping or jump off a cliff or something. Why do they have to take a bull which is already domesticated, make it wild and fierce by artificial means, and then pretend that they are taming it?
Is it actually taming in the first place, Father?
It's not only taming, it's also showing valor. Both the bulls show their strength and for bullfighters show their strength. It is a sport, you know, teams after teams are.
It's not barbaric?
No, it's not a barbaric.
Chinni Krishna is not barbaric?
It's not barbaric.
Why do you call it barbaric? He's saying it's a sport of valor, it's a question of tradition. People say that it's a black pongal if they don't celebrate Jallikattu, which is why even the government, as you said, it's a vote bank, which is why the governments are actually pandering to the desires of the local people there.
That doesn't necessarily make it right. I mean, when the Supreme Court...
He says it's not barbaric, he said it's a traditional sport.
The Supreme Court themselves banned it, and then they have allowed it to happen under certain conditions. Every condition has been flouted. No collector has given us 30 days notice.
Then regulate it.
No collector has given us 30 days. The collectors haven't given us 30 days notice in spite of writing to them. Now, who are we going to regulate? Now, 12 policemen today were injured. You know why? Because they stopped 20 drunken louts from going into the ring. And those drunken louts were little worse than the people we saw already jumping on the bulls. It's a terrible sport. I mean, those who have seen it can testify that it's a terrible, barbaric, cruel sport. If you want to call it a sport.
Barbaric, cruel.
It is not. It is a sport, it is a culture, it's a historical. I want you to regulate. If you are able, see, you are able to send battalions of police personnel to cricket ground. But you are not sending here because you don't look at this as a...
cricket is not a barbaric sport. Cricket is almost like a religion in our country.
Why do you send so many people there?
No, that's because of the large number of people who are present there to watch your thing, and there's a security threat.
Large number of people are there, and how many police personnel you are sending?
1,050.
See, how many people are sending? See, village people, illiterate people, so there are so many people are coming there also.
Father, talking of village people and illiterate people, since you're a cultural anthropologist, I'm asking you this specifically. Subaltern studies is something that you've also specialized in, even in Oxford. Yes. If you bring that to the local context here, it's the rich landlords who own the bulls, it's the poor subalterns who go and try and tame the bulls, try and show their valor, who will get killed or at least injured in the process. It is a very, I mean, if you accuse people like Chinni Krishna and animal rights activists of being elitist, even here also there's a kind of an upper caste domination here.
Not always. You are talking about the olden days. Now, those who are capable, not only the landlords, there are others. You know, I know personally the people in Alanganallur, how many people are rearing that bull. It's not only that.
No, but do these people, the oppressed communities, do they need jobs, education, or do they need a bull to fight?
See, we need education, we need jobs. This is part of the whole spectrum of life. It is a small part. In a year, there is one day in Alanganallur happens.
And blood is shed, and people, last time in fact the father of a boy who was killed in the stands, the bull ran amok, went into the stands where the spectators are...
Sanjay, I want you to regulate and protect people and reform it, regulate it.
No, but don't you believe, Father, that sometimes prevention is better than regulation? It's better to prevent something than have an ambulance and 200 policemen and two double barricades.
In order to kill a rat, you are burning the whole house.
Chinni Krishna, are we overreacting to this?
No, we are not overreacting. As a matter of fact, we are not reacting at all. That's the sad part. The event should have been banned 4 years ago. Unfortunately, it has been allowed to continue, knowing fully well the Supreme Court have given a very long rope to the Tamil Nadu government. Every direction of the Supreme Court has been flouted. Every direction. And in spite of the extra precautions taken, this is what happened. 72 people in this particular thing, 200 over the last 3 days in Madurai district alone. What a stupid waste of life. I mean, young people in the most productive years.
Can't they show their valor through other means?
There are.
Can't they show their valor by protecting people who are beating their wives? Can't they show their valor there? What valor are we talking about?
Only there are other ways of showing it. This is a way.
We're having bravery awards now. Shortly, we'll have children getting bravery awards for saving other people's lives. Here we want people to show their valor by fighting with an unarmed bull, which is given liquor and all kinds of things are done to make it aggressive.
Sanjay, there are many ways. There is a way. This is a way which has been preserved for the last 4,000 years, and now it has taken a different forms. And now today you are asking about the violence in it. Reform it.
Before
Regulate it.
we wrap, let me ask you, are you game? Will you go and tame
Of course,
a bull?
if I am trained, I will go.
You will go.
Yeah, it
you
is
will
a-
fight with the bull there.
It is a therapeutic. It is a very cultural. You have to be with the people in Alanganallur. Look at their lives.
You see Father Joe Arun as a
Yes.
potential bull tamer.
Yes, of course,
Chinni Krishna?
no problem.
Well, he may be a potential bull tamer, but all I can say is, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do.
Father, forgive them, they know not what they do. Probably blessed are the merciful is what you were saying.
Not the merciful too.
Anyway, thank you very much, Chinni Krishna. Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Joe Arun, for
Thank
giving us a perspective. It's important to have different shades of opinion, to have both sides of the coin, which is what we've done on this. We'll slide into a short break now, but coming up on the other side, what is the truth behind a little girl's ill-fated death? With her tragic end subject to a huge cover-up, more when we come back with Divya.